Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This is just a really quick intro to this video that you will see in a second, which if you've seen the title you'll obviously know what it's about. This video originally was supposed to be a collaboration between me and Io, but unfortunately he's not got like a camera and stuff to do videos. So, as you know, like if you're watching on the I Love Cars channel, because this is where this will also be published, I'm doing a couple of videos like reviews and stuff for him just to boost his channel and help mine, and just to make sure that he's got videos coming through, because he won't have some for like a couple of months and stuff while he hasn't got a camera and stuff. So this is a review of the Alpina XB7 reviewed earlier this year during the UK lockdown. So here it is. Lovely SUV. You also get a bit of information on the BMW X7 as well, and well, please enjoy. Make sure to subscribe to both channels after you've watched this video. Hey guys, and welcome back to another car review, and today we're going to be having a look at this lovely thing, which is on your screen now, which is the Alpina XB7. And today I'm going to be with Io Loves Cars from Nigeria, my amazing friend. We will be going through the powertrain on this vehicle and its interior, what the exterior is like, and everything like that. So a bit like the Jamur video, which we did a couple of months back now, and essentially I'll be talking through the specs now, what makes the Alpina XB7, and maybe a bit about the BMW SUV range. Why not? It should be quite interesting. So let's get right to it. So essentially what makes the Alpina XB7 so special? Now the Alpina XB7 is essentially a BMW X7 that's been heavily tuned and has a slight upgraded body kit and stuff on it. As you can probably see, like, it looks fabulous. So with the Alpina on the front splitter, and it's got a massive diffuser with a set of quad exhaust and stuff, so you can obviously see that. And Alpina are a tuning company who tune BMWs. So they do the M5, which is Alpina B5, the Alpina B3, which is an M3. They do diesel versions of the D3 and the D5. They also do the XD3, which is the diesel BMW X3 sports one. And they do lots of vehicles. They used to do a 4 Series, and they don't do that anymore. They used to do a 6 Series. They do a 7 Series. I think for the UK it's rear-wheel drive only, but I believe for the European market they do an all-wheel drive version, which is very fast, obviously. And they're all very, very, very fast. And because they're tuned, they don't have to have speed restrictors on. So you're looking at a BMW XB7, can do 180 miles per hour. And for a 7-seat SUV, that's pretty damn good. And it weighs like 2.6 tons. So basically, what is under the bonnet? So the XB7 has a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8, which is used in most BMWs. But it's used in the X7 BMW range in the M50i, which in the M50i it produces 523 brake horsepower, but in the XB7 you're looking at 613 horsepower, which is obviously a damn good amount of horsepower. That means 0 to 60 for this massive, heavy 2.5 ton SUV takes 4.2 seconds, which is ballistic. Top speed, as I've already said, is 180 miles an hour. So where does this stack up against the regular BMW X7 range? So BMW X7 range kicks off with the xDrive 30 diesel, which is a 261 horsepower straight 6 diesel with a turbo, 261 horsepower, not that slow at all, 7 seconds over 60 top speed, 141. Then it goes for petrol, which is the xDrive 40i straight 6 petrol, very nice car. And that means 0 to 60 has now dropped to 6.1 seconds top speed, 149, and the engine produces 335 horsepower. Then you get into the sports section of the BMW X7 range with the M50D and the M50i. Now the M50D has a 3 litre quad turbocharged, quad turbo, straight 6 diesel with 395 brake horsepower. 0 to 60 now takes 5.4 seconds, and the top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. The M50i has the same engine as the XB7, the 4.4 litre twin turbo V8, 523 horsepower. 0 to 60 now drops to a whopping 4.7 seconds. Wow, that's pretty damn good. And top speed is electronically limited to 155. And essentially all X7s, including the XB7, run an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, I believe. I'm not sure if that's different for the European markets, but I'm fairly sure that's what it is for the UK market. So, BMWs then, there's a lot of SUVs available. You can get the X1, the X2, the X3, the X5, the X6. No, the X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6, and X7. So there's a lot. Let's say that. And you can also get the iX3, which is an electric version of the X3. Now, so essentially, do they do any hybrid? Yes, they do a hybrid X1, the xDrive 25e, the xDrive 25e X2, the xDrive 30e X3. Then they do an X5, which is the xDrive 45e, and then you've obviously got the electric X3. They do a lot of M Sport versions. They do an M Sport X2 and M35i. They do obviously the M50 models of the X5 and X6, and they do the M40 and M40D versions of the X3 and X4. They also do the X3M competition, the X4M competition, the X5M competition, and the X6M competition. They do a lot of sporty ones. Have Alpina done those yet? No, but I think they will probably do unrated. The thing with the X5 and X6 is they both do 180 miles an hour and both have around the same power as the XB7. So I don't see why they would need to tune them, which I don't think they will. I think they'll probably do a X3M or an X4M. They might do, because they have the straight six that's now going to feature in the new BMW M3 later this year when it's released, which is the 503 horsepower twin turbocharged straight six petrol unit that BMW use. So I believe that's probably what will feature if they do one. So it's a question of whether the Alpina XB7 is actually worth what they've done to it, but I think it looks fabulous. I really like the XB7. In terms of its performance, it means it is definitely competitive with the Mercedes-AMG GLS 63. Here you go. Another 7-seat sports SUV. Also another reasonably large one with the GLE, but the GLE more targets the X5 and the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. So it doesn't really work that way. But then you've got the GLS, which has a top speed of 174 miles an hour. It's electronically limited, actually. 604 bhp, 0-60 is the same 4.2 seconds. So they're very competitive, and that's got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, which is obviously AMG's famous 4-litre twin-turbo V8. They use it in everything. Every AMG model has the 4-litre twin-turbo V8. So obviously the XB7 is a bit faster, more powerful, and I think it looks better. Everyone's like, the controversial grills on BMWs, I think they're alright. The only cars I think are ugly that BMW make, I think the 1 Series is awful. The 2 GC, what is the back end on that? It's hideous. The X6 is just possibly the worst looking car ever. I would probably say just about doesn't beat the Duke and the T-Roc Cabriolet. They're probably the 2 ugliest vehicles on sale, but I think the X6M is definitely up there. It is awful. Well, not the X6M, but just the normal X6 is awful. And then you've got the 4 Series, the new one. I mean, I don't really give a toss because I wouldn't buy a 4 Series 8. I don't see why you'd buy a 2-door version of a 4-door saloon car. Like the 8 Series, I love the M8 competition one because it's a GT car and stuff and it's fast. But I wouldn't get like an M850 over the M5, if you know what I mean. So I'd get an M8 over an M5 because I think it's more of a GT car than a sports car. But I wouldn't get the normal 8 Series, like an 840D over a 530D or something, because I don't really see the point of it, because why would you get a 2-door version of a 4-door saloon car? Then the Grand Coupe ones are worse, because they're a 4-door version of a 2-door version of a 4-door saloon car, as Clarkson would say. And they do look fabulous though, they do look good. But the 2GC is awful, the 2 Series Grand Coupe. I don't even know what it's called. It shouldn't even be called the 2 Series Grand Coupe. Why did BMW use the 2 Series name for the lovely sports car that they do, the rear-wheel drive one that's coming out later this year, which is going to retain its rear-wheel drive layout, thank the Lord. And they then slap 2 Series for the Active Tourer MPV, which is awful. and the Grand Coupe of the 1 Series. It should be called the 1 Series Grand Coupe and the 1 Series Active Tourer, because that's what they are, is like the front wheel drive and stuff. BMW. But most of the time I do like the grills. So I like the grill on the 7 Series. I think it looks fabulous. I really like it. I think on the 7 Series, the 7 Series is just before it gets way too big. It's just about on the limit where I can take it. I think it looks alright. If you spec it right with the M760, wow. I actually really like the M760 Li. And it does 189 miles an hour with the M Sport Pack, so what the hell, it's first. And looks pretty good. I'd still probably go for the older one, because it had more power. So, I think the grills look okay on the X5 as well. And the X6 from the front is alright. Just about. And obviously, the 1 Series is hideous. Absolutely hideous. I saw a base spec one when I went to...
a few moments later.
Gotta think where I went now.
2,000 years later.
Lancaster. And before, we had to go to a little train station to get on the train to go to Lancaster. And I saw base spec 3-cylinder 118i in the base spec with the tiny little alloy wheels that it has. It actually looked so, like, depressing. It was so sad just to see how awful the 1 Series had become. I think the 135 isn't too bad. I still don't like it. I used to think it was alright. But then I saw a classic 1 Series with the rear drive setup, and I was like, I really, really like that car a lot more than I like the new one. So, I don't like it. Anyway, back onto the XB7. So, in a second, I will hand over to my good friend Io from Io Loves Cars, who will talk you through the interior, the luxuries, and everything that comes with it, which is basically the normal BMW X7. But there's a hell of a lot of kit, let's say that right now. And essentially, he'll talk you through that. And a bit more of the exterior and what makes it different to the X7. I think I might have already said a bit about that, but you can go through more. But anyway,